Nyazungu is currently the CEO of M&J, and M&J is made of, there are 3 subsidiaries under M&J, which is M&J Consultants, M&J Media, and M&J Tech. So I can safely say that the journey which leads to the establishing of M&J, I was always driven by trying to empower the youth and trying to participate in changing the fortunes of our economy. As you know that the Zimbabwean economy has been suffering for the past 20 years, and personally I've been a vendor, so I'm actually a qualified chartered vendor, and I've walked a journey. I've sold sweets and bananas in the dusty streets of Budiriro and Glenview. At the early stages, I employed 4 people as a vendor, and I moved into the corporate ladders, trying to be an accountant, a bookkeeper, up to a group accountant for Abafor Holdings, until I started M&J in November 2014. I think I started M&J with actually a $40 laptop and a very, very small office which we are sharing with the other guy who was doing printers. So the journey which actually led to us starting M&J was because my dream has been always to say, if I employ other youths, if I help my fellow youths, and in the event I'll be also helping my family, and I don't want my family to go through what I went through. Like, I was a vendor, it was very tough being beaten by police, it was tough being taken by police, and there's a lot of things which happened during those days. The reason why I managed to thrive under very harsh and difficult conditions was, I think growing up I was a person who was always a fighter, and a person who doesn't, I'm not easily defeated by events. I think walking a journey from my primary level, I think I was actually asthmatic, and after my primary, when I was going to Form 1, I just decided to actually throw away my medical cards, because when I was going to, if I was going to give my headmaster those medical cards, there was no way I was going to participate in sports. So that's the way I managed to beat asthma. So growing up, even the way I managed to, I was playing basketball during my high school days. It was very difficult for someone who was coming from the rural areas of Watsomba to actually get into the first 5 basketball team of Maristi Brothers Nyanga. And I also think that growing up, I met a lot of tough people. One of the tough guys is actually my father, who is a war veteran and a former soldier. So we were living under strict conditions, and I thank God that when I was also growing up, meeting a lot of people in Harare, I met many people who were giving me advice, and many people who were tough to me. I also made some mistakes in business. What I think is, in order for you to be successful, if you get a mistake, it doesn't mean that it's a death sentence. If you do a mistake, you can easily overcome that mistake, maybe by actually repeating again. You make more mistakes until you're perfect. I think what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is because I can divide that actually into 4. I think in order for you to be a successful entrepreneur, you're supposed to know sales. I can rank sales on number 1. Number 2, you have to know marketing. Number 3, I'll put accounting. And number 4, I'll put investment.
I believe you cannot be an entrepreneur or without knowing the skills of selling your products. So anyone, even when you are a vendor, when you are running a chartered accounting firm, even if you're running a parastatal or even a government, I believe that sales is the most important skill. Then marketing is also very, very important, because in order for you to sell, you cannot sell without actually marketing your products. You need to, people, they have to know your products. People, they have to know whatever you are doing. So I think the biggest problem which is encountered in making people unsuccessful is because they are obscure. You might be producing a better product than your competitor, but if you're not known, it means people cannot come and buy to you. Then I can also put accounting. The successful business people, they know whether they are making money or losses. That skill of actually interpreting the figures. If you are making sales, if your stocks are enough, if you know how to support your market, I think that is very important in terms of accounting. Then I rank also the skill of actually investing your money. That is these skills are not found in any university. We are not taught how to run money. So a person who can know where to invest and what time to invest, they can be very successful than the unsuccessful. Then I can also add an issue of actually differentiating the person who is running the business or the founder from the business in terms of the money, because there's a problem of actually using business money to do personal things. I think that's where most successful business people beat the unsuccessful ones. Yes, Zimbabwe is a very, very unique economy, and I believe that it has got plenty of opportunities. But what I can tell a young entrepreneur who wants to venture into any business, they have to change their mindset and they have to avoid negative news as much as possible. I can tell them to avoid too much negative news coming from Facebook, coming from the newspapers, and coming from even the TV. The television is always giving you negative news. I think the journalists, they make news, mostly it's negative news. So the opportunities which are in Zimbabwe is still a young economy. It's an economy which is actually suffering. So where there are problems, if you identify solutions, you're bound to make a lot of money. Like what our billionaire Strive Masiwa, the person who is going to solve most of the problems is the one who is going to make a lot of money. I don't believe that, yes, there are threats which are external, but I believe that most of the threats, why people might be afraid to venture into business in Zimbabwe, they are mostly internal rather than external. People must actually know the skill of actually running your business, not the academic skills, but the practical skills. Although there are other threats which it's inflation. Right now we're currently under COVID-19, but I believe that the person who is going to cure COVID-19, that person definitely is going to be a billionaire. So wherever there are problems, I believe there are also solutions. And if you find the solutions, you can make more money. So threats are equals to opportunities. So personally, I usually like to associate myself with opportunities rather than threats. I think nothing beats hard work. If you show, like someone who just shows up, if you just show up like what I do, because we've got a unique working culture at M&J, and as a leader, I try to lead by example. I usually start my day at 4 a.m. Every day, and I'm usually the first one to be at the offices at around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm usually the last one to leave the offices. So I believe that luck actually favors those who shows up. So I can, that's the biggest secrets. We work very hard. Most of my employees, even myself, we don't go out even for lunch. Yes, the lunch hour is there, but it's just a formality. We just eat and continue with our work. So I can safely say that that is the first unique and drive which makes actually M&J thrive. Then the second thing is at M&J we also have a unique culture whereby I don't entertain people who blame the external factors. So even right now, as we are in a lockdown, we're just during COVID, our sales targets, they remain the same. Our targets are never altered because there is a threat which is outside there. Whether it's an economic threat, it's inflation, we just value, and I look at the first line of the profit and loss, which is of the comprehensive income statement, which is revenue. So I believe that if we just increase the revenue, the expenses, they'll sort themselves out. So I think that actually gives us a better advantage over our fellow competitors. But I don't believe in competition. I actually believe in dominating the sector, and I believe we're actually dominating the consulting sector. There's a famous businessman in America, if you know Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary. He actually says business is a war. Yes, indeed it's a war, but I believe I think we are not supposed to compete, but we are supposed to actually complement each other. Even right now, as a qualified chartered secretary, I think I've got other 5 small firms which I help with their signing of their company documents up to the date. But I believe the way I'm just ruthless to competition is if someone is actually marketing at 10%, we are supposed to be at 100%. If someone is now at 100%, we are supposed to be at 1000%. And that's the only way we can kill competition. And if someone is working from 6 to 9 p.m., we are supposed to work even 24 hours a day. So that's the only way you can beat competition. You can actually outclass competition by working very, very, very hard and working smart. And the other unfair advantage we have at M&J is I like reading a lot of business books. And I think in the year 2020 only, I read about 35 books. And in 2021, my goal is to read at least 50 business books, getting ideas from the prominent business people, especially in United States of America and locally, use them against our competition. That's what we do, that's our secret. For a young entrepreneur, someone who wants to plan starting a business, I would recommend there's a book, a popular book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read it, not only first time. My culture is, even when I was reading in 2020, read that book at least more than 5 times, and implement. It doesn't make any sense like what Darren Hart says in a book called Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, which I believe you should also take that one as your title. If you just read books for the sake of it doesn't make any sense. When you read a book, go and implement right away. It's better to read one book 50 times and implement what is in a single book, rather than reading 50 books and you don't implement anything. I also recommend The Secrets of Closing a Sale by our granddad for sales, Zig Ziglar. I also recommend my favorite book, my favorite title, 10x Rule. 10, or some they want to call it 10 times Rule by Grant Cardone. I also recommend A Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone. I can safely say you can read any title from Grant Cardone and you'll be inspired as a young entrepreneur. I also recommend The Personal MBA. That's also a good title. And there's a book which you once mentioned about, you were talking about competition. If you read a book called Blue Ocean Strategy, that's the strategy which we use to beat competition. You never know how we actually making money. We do a lot of things at M&J, so it's going to be very difficult for a competitor to see what is actually bringing a lot of revenue to M&J if you read the Blue Ocean Strategy. Thank you. I think through reading books, at first I used to be someone who was skeptical, especially when it comes to risk. Being an accountant by profession, accountants are not risk takers. But when I started reading books, business books, I learned that all these great billionaires, millionaires, they've made it through taking a lot of risk. So even up to now, I'm now a big risk taker, and I know that where there's a bigger risk, there are actually bigger returns. So that's my approach currently towards risk, and I'm not hesitant to take whatever risk in order for the M&J business brand to grow. Sometimes we invest money and we're left without any money to pay even our employees, but we've never even a single month where we have skipped paying salaries on time. So I believe that we should approach risk. Either as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you should actually love risk. Like I said initially, I think our organizational culture is the one which actually makes us a brand. Like, that's why we are where we are currently. It's because of the unique corporate culture whereby everyone, you'll be amazed if you come at M&J, work starts at 8, but at 7 a.m. almost everyone is here. People are now already working. The working culture is unique. I would like to emulate the American culture. That's my dream. I think we are almost 10%. We've copied 10% of the American standards. But I believe through working very hard, if we only implement 50% of the American working standards, I think we'll be millionaires, and M&J will be actually a bigger brand, conquering even the region. So that's our culture, and we believe, I believe in young people. We've got a young culture and an innovative culture. So my team is made up of youths who are all under 35 years, including me. Yes, my team, when it comes to hiring, even if you as an entrepreneur, even if you're the best, you need a team. So the team which actually field best players is the one which wins. So my approach to hiring is a unique one. I don't look at academics. I'm not a fan of the academic qualifications. So when I'm hiring, I usually assign my HR to look for curriculum vitae, and after selecting, I don't want anything to do with academics. And after selecting the people, they go through, they bring in videos, and in the videos, they don't have to tell us about what they did. We want what they will bring on table. So I hire only people who are going to tell me what they're going to do after we've enrolled them at M&J. And we also give, even if I'm hiring an accountant, I can even ask you to go and wash cars outside, because I believe that attitude is very important. Skills can always be taught, but you cannot teach attitude. It's better to hire people who are already motivated than to try and motivate people who you've already hired. That's a mistake. I believe that hiring motivated people, hiring people with good attitude, hiring people who are ready to die for the M&J brand, those are the people who I want to associate with only. So I can safely say I've got an A team. I've got people who are self-motivated. So most of the ideas actually come from the people who I'm hiring. I think what they have to do, they should do, whoever wants to be an entrepreneur, learn to read business books whilst you're very young. I believe the curriculum which is there, it doesn't help you in any way to be an entrepreneur. We've got degrees which are being offered by university. I can give an example, maybe Chino University, whereby they're even being taught entrepreneurship degree with lecturers who have never run a tuck shop. So that is actually impossible for them to be entrepreneur. I believe that those degrees are supposed to be taught by people who are actually doing practical entrepreneurship. It's better to even hire a vendor in Bari to teach those students. So I believe our curriculum is supposed to be changed. It's supposed to be more hands-on, not more theoretical like it is. So for a young person who wants to venture into business, the secrets are found in business books. That's where most of the secrets are hidden. The secrets are not in an MBA, the secrets are not in doctorates, but the secrets are hidden in those business books. Read the books which were written by the likes of Dr. Strive Masiwa, Barack Obama, Bill Gates, Grant Cardone, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Victor Antonio, Joe Pitch. You find all the secrets, they are there. So that's what I actually encourage. Then what I would tell someone who wants to venture into entrepreneurship not to do, don't be greedy. Most of the people, they get into a company, a company, and they just want to register companies for the sake of it. It's better for you, I believe in a team. So if you're operating as a team, let's say there's a founder, because I believe that people were given unique talents by God. Some were born founders, but they can't run the organization. Some, they can run the organization better. So I believe if you're in an organization which is still very young, which can appreciate you, where the owner is not abusing funds, please stick in that organization. Don't make mistakes which were done by the people who founded or who joined Facebook, or who even joined Dr. Masiwa when he was starting Econet and left prematurely to start their own unsuccessful businesses. So that's what I will say to the young entrepreneurs. Please be patient. I will leave these words to them. When you're young, please strive to learn, not to earn. The future is very, very, very bright. We have recently opened our Bulawayo branch in December, and we are also going to open another branch in Zambia, Lusaka. We had shut it down because of COVID-19, but right now we are going to reopen it with or without COVID-19. And even if there's going to be a war in Zimbabwe or Zambia, we are still going to open that branch. So the future is bright. We want to open offices in the whole region, and the vision is actually to say by 2025 we would have employed at least 500 youths in the region, but more people are supposed to be in Zimbabwe. I believe that I can also play my part in reducing the unemployment rate. There are many youths who are abusing drugs, who are surviving on prostitution. I believe as M&J we can directly employ 500 people by 2025, and we can even indirectly employ 5,000 people through our clients. Right now I think we've employed over 200 people through our clients. So that's what the future was for M&J, and you also even want to go international. So the vision which we have, especially in 2021, I have talked to my team, and we are ready even to sleep at M&J in order for that vision to be fulfilled, which we are going to do. And we've even said we are not going to close in M&J. We are working every day from Monday to Sunday. Thank you.